There's something hidden inside me. What is it?
It's a memory.
A memory?
A memory of what you did.
Hello, welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Claire Bueno, where we are inside the mind and outside the law as we attend the world premiere of Danny Boyle's Trance.
Anyone can steal a painting.
Let's start the bidding at £5 million.
All it takes is a bit of muscle.
Now, your character, she drives this plot forward, doesn't she?
No, she does, and that's really unusual. You know, for Danny's done some really amazing films, but, you know, he really hasn't tackled doing a film with a woman at the center of the story. And so, yes, it is totally a boys' film, and you can see that. You know, it's an art heist, you know, sexy gangsters in London thriller, but it also has these twists and turns. It's a bit of a maze and a puzzle to put together, and it's really amazing to see a woman at the helm of that.
And the one thing that we're constantly struggling with through the film is her ethics. Is that something that attracted you to playing her?
Very much so. You know, I think it's always interesting to see people sort of challenge themselves within a character role, you know, that where you see there's a difficulty or some type of thing for them to unsurmountable odd to kind of overcome. And I think that's a running theme actually in Danny's films. You know, I think that's why they tend to have a sort of hopeful ending on all of them, because each of these films are always about some kind of character trying to, you know, kind of beat the odds. And in this case, it's really her who's trying to do so. And it's really magnificent the way that she, you know, goes about it. Actually, it's really
so intelligent.
Yeah, you know, it's a chess. You know, it's a chess game. Yeah,
and you're dealing with hypnotherapy as well.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that after completing the film?
Well, you know, I did a lot of research into it, and I thought it was really quite fascinating. I had to challenge myself because I think I've thought of hypnotherapy maybe as a sort of like gimmick or parlor trick or something, and then actually having gone and gotten hypnotized and, you know, and meeting all these different professionals and what they do, you know, it's a really powerful profession. You know, you're helping people kind of, you know, delve into their psyche and go into their subconscious, which actually is really quite powerful, you know, and very revealing and telling if you know what to look for. So I really loved it, you know, and I think it's a perfect premise for a film because everything about a movie is an illusion, you know, so I really hope that people enjoy this one.
But no piece of art is worth a human life.
Stop right there.
This is a screenplay for you as a filmmaker you cannot not get excited about.
Yeah, no, it was a wonderful... we've been working on it for a couple of years, and it's a wonderful opportunity. 3 stonking great parts, so you've got to get 3 great actors to play them. And it's full of a device called trance. Movies are hypnotic, anyway, I think. And to be able to make a film that is a series of developing trances naturally as part of the story is a wonderful opportunity for any filmmaker, you know.
And you mentioned the 3 leading actors, that they've all kept their regional dialects. Did that help their natural performances, do you think?
Oh yeah, I think if they do, it's very much, you get stronger, less, you know, they're not self-conscious, they're completely free in the part to go where they want. So James is in his Scottish accent, which I love, anyway. Vincent is obviously one of the world's great actors, and he's a French gangster at the beginning, which is sort of what you'd expect, although he does change as the film goes on. And obviously Rosario Dawson, and there's a kind of Californian tone to her voice, which fits very well with the idea of therapy, you know. I think there's this idea that, you know, we talk, we cure, and then therapy can solve anything. So it's nice to hear that range of voices in there, yeah.
And may I speak about the look and style of the film? It seems so slick, that complements really the screenplay itself. I mean, the cinematography is stunning.
Yes, no, well, we set out to try and make every element of the film seductive. You know, all the choices in the film, the sets, the locations, the actors, what they wear, how they speak, the sound of the film, the music, score, is all acting to seduce you, to pull you further and further into the film, as though you're the patient, really. And that was one of the illusions we wanted to create.
The interesting thing as well, from when you first shot the film, there was a hiatus before going into the edit room. So how did that change your perspective on the film, or did it?
It was a huge help, actually, because it's a very complicated narrative at one point, It's very complex story to follow, and it certainly helped to come back to it after a few months off. Well, not off, we were doing the Olympics opening ceremony, and it made you realise that you've got to leave more clues for the audience, because initially when you make a film like this, you're very protective of your secrets, if you like, the revelations in the movie. And you realise that you had to, so we didn't show any at first, and then you realise you have to release the film a little bit and let people go through the breadcrumbs. You have to leave some breadcrumbs, the trail, that if you follow it, you will get there, you know?
No piece of art is worth a human life.
To be able to explore so many facets of Simon's personality really on screen must have been a joy for you as an actor.
Yeah, being able to come across as one thing, then switch it, come across as something else, then switch it again, then switch it again, then switch it again. As all three of the main characters do, actually, it was a real joy. Getting to do something different from what I usually do as well, you know, and play something a little darker was really good fun.
Where is it?
I can't remember. I got hit on the head.
That you remember.
What fascinates me about the screenplay is that how we perceive the characters in the beginning isn't how we see them at the end. Was that fascinating?
Finally, you know, I mean, some movies give you the opportunity to see that on screen. So yeah, I totally agree, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be part of it. You know, because Frank is not what you think it will be, but as Rosario's character, or as James McAvoy's character, you know, everything is not what it seems.
What was interesting watching the scenes as well, where we're watching the hypnotherapy, watching you sitting there. I wondered what your thought process was of your character. Does he believe?
No, my character doesn't believe in hypnotherapy. You know, he's a businessman. He has to go through this whole circus because he wants to get the money back. But you know, I think it's a pretty straightforward, down-to-earth character. Actually, my character, I think, is the closest thing to the audience. You know, Frank, because that's his name, discovers everything has the same pace than the audience.
And talking about down to earth, Danny Boyle, what was it like working with him? Because he seems to me a director, not only is he a visionary, but he loves working with his actors and bringing the best out.
Totally, and that's maybe why he comes from the theater world, you know. So he really knows how to deal with actors, and he loves actors. You know, and as an actor, to be on set with a director that really loves actors is definitely a plus.
Have you ever been hypnotized before?
Whatever is in his head, she can find.
I want you to relax, Simon.
Stop. What can you make him do?
Anything.
Oh, what an amazing screenplay to be a part of.
I know. I mean, like, he's such a great, inspirational person to work with, and I was really lucky to be a part of it, and kind of especially to be a kind of MacGuffin, I suppose, in one of his stories. So it was kind of fun. Yeah, it's really good.
What is it for you, as watching and working with Danny Boyle, that brings you out as a performer?
I mean, I think he just gets the best out of everyone. He's very... makes you feel very comfortable and able to kind of experiment and be creative, and he's just a really nice guy, so you feel very comfortable working with him, and he's very subtle when he directs. He just needs to say one thing for the idea to pop into your head, and he gets the best out of you. It's kind of amazing.
Is it interesting as well to see this film is so slick and stylish that it's actually such a boost that we can produce such beautiful films and intelligent films in England, that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's all the components are there. I think it's kind of one of those things with the recession and everything. It means that maybe the bigger blockbusters don't get made here, but actually it leaves a lot of scope for people to make the mid-range budget films and actually make something really exciting because they have the creative freedom to do more things. And so I think it's really nice. It means there's a lot of new directors coming to the fore and lots of exciting projects around. So yeah, I think Danny is just at the absolute forefront, and now he's gone into another league, you know.
All part of your plan. Two of you planning it together.
She put that there. It's not real.
It's a great story, I think. You know, obviously you've seen it.
I have.
And so I'm gonna, you know, maybe you should tell me a bit more about it.
Well, you know, you haven't seen it
No,
yet?
I haven't.
You're not going to be disappointed.
Oh well, that's good. That's good. In terms of the story and yeah.
It's phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, you've obviously, it's a stylish film. You're going to get that.
Yes,
from
I
Danny.
got that.
But obviously, for you reading the script yourself, you know that it's just super intelligent.
Yeah. I mean, it was more intelligent than I am. You know, it took me a while to get my head around what was going on. But it's you know, Danny's great at steering people in the right direction, and you know, great cast, and so we kind of worked our way through it slowly, and I hope that it all stands up. Good.
And the thing is with the part that you're playing as well, that you're not only the supporting cast, you play a big part in how this story does turn out.
Yes. I mean, it could go either way with any one of those characters leading it in a new direction, and so that's a great opportunity to and a difficult thing to do, I think, with a story that has, you know, 3 very, very strong leading actors in it. You know, to be able to give the smaller guys a chance to kind of steer it, and so it's the genius of this filmmaker.
And also, I think what's really exciting is that this is a British film.
Yeah.
And so to create such exciting filmmaking here is really encouraging for everybody involved in it.
Yeah, well, I think that's been his great skill, really, since Shallow Grave, really. You know, he's very, very good at sort of making, you know, deep, meaningful stories popular as well, and I think that's something that we sort of turned our nose up at in this country before, but now we sort of have somebody who's a pioneer of that, which is great for us.
He wants the painting for himself.
I don't believe that.
I'm in a trance this evening with the captivating Danny Boyle and the wonderful cast that we got to speak to this evening here at the World Premiere of Trance. I'm Claire Bueno and you're watching Premiere Scene.
The memory is locked in a cage. And with enough force, the lock can be broken.
Elizabeth, I have something to tell you. You ready?